Good afternoon, everyone. So let's begin our session about portfolio optimization. You were instructed to install the following packages, load the following packages. No need to install this because we have already installed this in the past. In Quant Mode, Performance Analytics, Portfolio Analytics, and I hope you are able to load already yung QMAO. Last time we did this last time sa class, di ba? Itong QMAO class. Yes or yes? Okay. So make sure that they're loaded. Of course, you can use the packages here. Type quantum QMAO, for example, and then click. And so with the other other packages. Excuse me, class. Okay, let's start with this. We're going to load these objects, these stocks, IBM, Bank of America, Apple, Google, Microsoft, okay, Intel, Amazon, Netflix, Facebook, Tesla, and Standard and Poor's. I'll just share with you the stickers, and then you create the others so that we save a bit on time. Okay. Yeah, pwede Louie, pwede mong i-restart na lang, no? Mag-restart ka na lang. Saan nagkaka-error? Restart mo na lang. Okay, and then create this code chunk, please. We define the start date, 2016, January 1. End date is 2023, December 31. Then we create the code for get symbols. We have the tickers here from the start date up to the end date. This is the default Yahoo. Periodicity is the default also daily. And auto data sign is equal to true. So that get symbols will generate several objects with names IBM, BAC, etc. I'll give you a 1 minute to do this. Okay, so we're loading these assets. IBM, BAC, Bank of America. I don't know why my mouse seems to be having a problem. I'll just load this by line. Okay. And there should be here a printout of the assets there that we generated. Okay, so sorry about that. Ayaw mag-ano ng mouse ko sa ano, ayaw na rin ma-X to. Happened here. Ayan. Okay. Okay. Parang nag-hang siya. All right. So we said, class, that we have our our objects here, the different assets. They are XS objects, and we can create another object containing, right, the combined let's say closing prices or adjusted prices of these assets. So because these assets are they're not yet combined, what we can do is what we learned last time. The long cut is to create an object of, let's say, for Apple, we can create Apple closing, then Microsoft closing, etc., and then merge these objects into one. Or we can make use of the QMAO package. It has this make price frame function, and where we define the assets. Okay, this one. We cannot use the tickers, no? Because tickers is just a character vector, scalar. Okay, so we have to identify the assets themselves to make use of the make price frame. And the asset should already be loaded, it should be existing already. So this will not work if you don't have IBM here. All right, so that's the syntax, make price frame. And what this will do is that we define the start and the end, which means that you can use uh, subsetted date from these assets. Kasi itong IBM, for example, 2016 hanggang 2023, pwede ka rin gumawa ng price frame na, let's say, 2018 lang, up to 2020, pwede rin yun, with this one. And then we prefer the close prices. And then here, na.omit is equal to true. Although this is not needed, unless may mga NA values sa mga assets natin dito. Okay? So let's run this, class. If I run this, I will now have an object called prices, and it contains all the closing prices of these 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 assets. So these are all closing prices. And just to let's see, a view IBM, the closing price of IBM is the first observation 129,9713. We take a look at prices. This is 129,9713. Okay, so we were able to validate that indeed these are the closing prices. Okay, let me pause for a while. Are you able to follow so far, class? Am I going too fast? Okay na ba, class? Meron na ba kayong object na prices? You should have that object prices in your environment here. Okay. Okay, thank you. How about the others, please? Are you able to follow? Okay, good. Thank you. All right. So, of course, you know, class, that last time we said that make price frame can be replaced by the PF lang, no? So we can use the PF function coming from QMAO also. It's the same. So this one, and by the way, class, yung GSPC, okay, although when we use get symbols and then access it from Yahoo, when it's loaded here, si GSPC, wala na yung caret, no? There. So when you're using it in another function, dapat wala na yung caret dyan kasi ito yung rene-refer mo. But when you're using get symbols and you try to load GSPC from the internet, kasi ang ticker symbol niya, yung ano, yung may caret. But when it was saved here, tinanggal yung caret. Okay, so that's why here, wala siyang caret dito. Otherwise, mag-error siya. Hindi siya mara-recognize yung caret GSPC. Because caret GSPC is non-existent. Wala naman siya dito. No? All right, so this PF function will give us the same answer. Okay, you can just copy the function above, this one, and then replace the make price frame with price frame. What I did was to create another object, prices one, and here prices one also. And if you compare that with the prices above, it will be the same. Okay, making use of this PF. Okay, then when we're doing portfolio optimization, we don't, what we need are the returns. We're modeling the returns. So we don't actually need the prices. However, if we're using the regular route where you use get symbols and then you first generate an object with the, let's say, closing prices, then you need to go to prices first. And then that's the time you use either daily return or return that calculate depending on how you use that to get the returns. But there's a shortcut. We said that using QMAO package, we don't need to pass through the prices. We can automatically get the returns from the objects here generated from quant mode. And that function is uh, either the make return frame or the RF. Okay, pareho lang. Make return or RF. So here it's the same syntax. The only difference is that you identify the type. Okay, type is equal to continuous. Now apparently yung na.omit is equal to true does not work for this one. So I think this is for the data, but not for the returns here. So you'll have to include na.omit here and then close it so that it will no longer return the missing value for the first row. We know that it will have a missing value because the first row will not have a precedence. It will not have a partner data before it. So you cannot compute the discrete returns, you cannot compute the arithmetic returns, you cannot compute the log returns if there's no prior value. Okay, so that's why we do this. That's why the return here, the result here is an NA on the first row, but we just automatically remove that by NA.omit. Okay, so if I run this ret object, okay, I now have this. Okay, so these are the returns of these are the log returns. And notice it now begins at 105. So the first line, 104, was deleted. Okay. If you want to make this as a percentage, and that will be easy, inside the make return frame, okay, you can type here times 100. Okay, I'll use it here for RF. Okay, because I use this, I created this object ret1, and I'm using ref RF, and then here I can multiply it by times 100. So this will be for the RF function. The last parenthesis will be for the na.omit. Okay, so if I run this, I'm going to create ret1. It will also be the log returns, but this time, see, ret1 will be in percentage here. Okay, so this is in percentage. Okay, pause. Questions, class? Questions? Okay, I'll give you a few seconds to, in case you're not yet done. Sorry. I used here, close ang ginamit ko, no? Dapat close to. Para pareho. I run this. A while ago, the ret one will be different from the ret above here because this one is closing prices. The other one here was using uh, adjusted. So they will be different. But now I made it close, so they should be the same. Ret code, okay. Yung ret code at saka ret 1, pareho lang yan. Pinalitan lang natin ng ito. Yung make return frame, ginawa lang natin RF. So they're the same. Okay, so here is the code chunk for the ret object. Okay, and for the ret one, just replace this, no, with RF. So that's a bit of a shortcut, return frame. And if you compare class, then they will be exactly the same. Okay, so for this object, let me go to ret. These are the log returns, di ba? Log returns to ng IBM, BAC, Apple, etc. Now, what we're going to do is to create a portfolio, but we're not going to use all kasi marami masyado, no? Well, hindi naman marami masyado, marami lang. Relative to, I'd like to illustrate to you in a portfolio of two assets lang, no? Itong IBM at saka BAC. Okay? So let's first create a portfolio, okay, of IBM and BAC. Okay, so ito ginawa lang namin kanina. Tanggalin ko muna to ha. Let me remove this. Ay, mali. Control Z. All right. So we're creating this object, IBM underscore BAC underscore ret. So this is supposed to be an object consisting of only IBM and Bank of America. So we can use the ret object, which consists of all the returns of all the assets, and then just subset. So the first space here will be the rows. So everything, all the rows will be included. Okay. And then this one will be for the columns. So we're only subsetting the column one, which is IBM, and column two, which is uh, Bank of America. Okay. And then i-view natin. Okay, there. There you go. So you now have an object consisting of two columns. It consists of the returns of IBM and returns of Apple. Okay, why are we using returns? Kasi class sa portfolio talaga, ang ginagamit yung returns. Okay, when we create the risk and return profile, what we need what we need is not the prices but the returns. Okay, so have you created the IBM BAC object class? Okay, good. Send your code. No, I'd like you to write the ret yourself class. Sige, ipa-flash ko ulit, no? Simple lang naman yung ret, di ba? Ito, ginawa na natin last time to eh. We're using the RF function or make price function. You have the assets in your prices data, di ba? Kokopyahin nyo lang yan. Okay? Kopyahin nyo lang yung yung assets nyo. And then simple lang ito, from is equal to start. Okay, I'll give you a few more seconds please. Yung sa ret object. Okay? Okay na kayo, class? Feedback please kung may ret object na kayo. I want everybody to type yes or no kung para kasi I want to know, class. Medyo kulang tayo sa information eh. That's why I'm not able to immediately or continue kasi hindi ko alam kung meron na kayong ano. Yes, yes, yes. Yung iba, please. About the rest, hindi complete yan. Konti lang yan. Konti lang, class, yung nag-chat. May I have a response from everybody, class? Baka naman pwede niyo ako i-inform kung okay na kayo. Okay. All right, thank you. So let's continue, class. So we have the ret object, which consists of all the assets, yung log returns nila. And then what we did was to subset. We're just going to create a portfolio of sige, gawin natin tatlo para maiba tayo. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So that will be ano yung mga assets natin? IBM, BAC, and Apple. So let's create a portfolio, an object containing the returns of IBM, Bank of America, and Apple. So 1, 2, 3 to, no? So I have to APL na lang. And dinagdagan ko lang. Although personally, I'm not too fan of giving long names to objects, but for purposes of like instruction, clarity, IBM back Apple returns. So this is the return. Iba-bracket natin sa subset natin yung first 3 columns lang. Okay, and then if we run this, we now have this one, tatlo sila. No? Okay, so we have that portfolio, we have that object or portfolio of returns. Okay, now, iba yung returns class ng ano, no? Yung returns ng individual assets natin, which we generated using either the RF function or the return that calculate or calculate returns function, it consists of the individual returns of the assets. Okay, when you're dealing with the portfolio class, i-combine natin yung tatlong assets na to through a weighing system, which we will determine. So is it 50, 30, 20? 50% ba yung sa IBM, 30% yung sa Bank of America, and 20% yung Apple? Okay, or is it equally distributed? One third, one third, one third. It really depends on your objectives. Okay, so for this one, let's just assume equally weighted. Okay, so how do we get now the return of this portfolio? IBM, BAC, Apple. Okay, so I'll I'll rename this IBM, Bank of America, Apple, portfolio ret. No, this one is just ret, just to distinguish it from the ret. This one will compute the portfolio ret. Okay, so I'm going to change this because it's no longer two assets, but so we define one third. Let's assume it's equally weighted, one third, one third, one third. Okay, but of course you can identify or you can change this for as long as the total is 100%. So here, the syntax is return that for, so let's look at that code class. question mark return that that here, return that portfolio, and this will be control enter. This will be from performance analytics. Help here. Okay, and this function is from performance analytics. And then if you take a look at the syntax, the R, that's the object containing your returns. It may be an XTS, vector, matrix, etc. Regardless of the data structure, for as long as it has the returns of your assets. And then scale. So this is the default NA. So you can type is equal to NA. It will give us the annualized return. So if you don't put anything here, it will give us annualized return. Otherwise, you can put here whether it's daily returns, monthly, or quarterly. So for the annual, you can ignore this, or you can type scale is equal to NA. And then RF is the risk-free rate. Okay, in the same period as your returns. So if your object is daily returns, dapat yung risk-free rate natin, dapat daily returns din. Okay? And then this one, geometric. And then we can identify yung digits. No? Kung ilang digits, you can make it 3, etc. So that's what this function does. My example dito if you want to look at this. All right. So I'm now going to here. I'm going to compute for all right, weights is equal to concatenate natin tatlo kasi we have 3 assets, di ba? So dapat each one of them will have their own weight. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. There. Okay, so view IBM, BAC, Apple, portfolio return. Okay, so 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. What will happen is that if you take a look at this red object, okay, so for this day, it will be 1/3 times the return of IBM, 1/3 times the return of BAC, 1/3 times the return of Apple. So that will be the value of the first day of the returns. Because the returns is simply this one class. The return of the portfolio R sub P. Notice it's a small letter R. So isa-sum up natin yung weight ng asset times the return of the asset. So yung range natin from 1 up to N. Then observations. Okay? So weight of the asset multiplied by the return of the asset. So in this case, weight ng IBM multiplied by the return of IBM, weight ng BAC multiplied by the return of BAC, and also Apple. So tigwo 1/3 sila lahat. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 contribution to the daily return of your portfolio of asset containing IBM, BAC, and Apple. Okay? All right, so let's do that. Let's now create the portfolio returns by using this performance analytics. Then the function is return that portfolio. Enter. Oops, sorry. Ano yung mali ko? Mali ako dito, class. Return that portfolio dapat. Kasi itong IBM tsaka BAC, dalawa lang yan, di ba? Tapos, ang weights ko 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So, may mismatch. Hindi pa pwede yun. So, nakalimutan ko dito yung APL. Apple. There. So, we now have, so the returns are coming from the return object, di ba? may IBM, nag-create ba tayo nun? This one. IBM BAC Apple rep. Okay, so this one. And then weights is 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. I-run natin to. Then we will have this. Okay. So yung portfolio returns natin, class, isa na lang. Bakit? Kasi pinerform natin summation ng weight times the return. Okay, so if the weight was 50, 30, 20, so we're going to multiply the IBM returns by 50%, si BAC by 30%, uh, si Apple ng 20%. Okay? So that's how it's done. Okay, so take note, class, pag nag-portfolio that return tayo, or return that portfolio, sorry. Pag nag-return that portfolio tayo, isa na lang yung column, regardless of the number of assets. So kahit na 100 assets yan, pag kinumpute natin yung return that portfolio, it will only generate one column. Okay, kasi lahat ng assets, yung return sila, may contribution dun sa return ng portfolio natin. Okay, pause for a while, class. Comment, please. Are you able, feedback, please, if you're able to follow. Clear ba? If you have questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or to chat for any questions. Okay, clear? All right, no questions? Okay, so what happened was, yung kinompute yung returns no, ng portfolio natin, daily yan. Kasi daily yung data natin. One of the starting values, okay, sandali, no? My question dito, si Louis, kindly share your question to everyone, and then I'll request you to share screen. Na-share mo na ba sa everyone yan? To everyone? Okay. Sige, kindly, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And then kindly share your screen. Would like to see what your question was. All right. So, what's your question, Louis?
Sir, yung dun po sa may, ito po yung ginawa pong object na IBM Back Apple Pre. May, hindi po siya same dun po sa nagawa. May E po siya. Hindi po siya yung pure decimal lang po.
Pero parehong number lang din naman yan. E to
So,
the
sir,
-3 means you just move 3 decimal places to the left.
um,
So it's 0.00870488.
so sir, hindi po siya mali. Tama naman po siya.
Ano ba yung,
Kasi sir, yung sa inyo po kasi is
dali
whole,
ha?
parang,
Let me see. So, yung sa return ko ng, where's that? PRET. Ito. Ayan, oh, ito. So, is that the same as your answer?
yung inyo po kasi is nakaano po siya. Yung naka-point na po. Pero yung nakuha
Yeah,
ko po is
pero ang tanong
nag
ko, yung answer mo ba pareho lang dito sa answer dito?
ay, yes po. If
Yes.
minus ko po manually yung decimal place.
Hindi, yeah,
Pero
yeah.
sir,
Pero kasi ano lang naman yan, presentation lang naman yan eh, di ba?
oh,
Kunyari, 0.0001, okay? Minus ko sa, sa, so this is, wait, 1.0 e e to the negative 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, tingnan mo 0.001, ima-minus ko yung 1 point, or kahit walang 1.0, kahit 1, pwede kasi yung 0.0. 1 e to the minus 4. Ang question natin, itong 1 e to the negative 4, you move 4 places to the left, no? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 0.001. Okay? Which is just the same as 0.001. So pag minus ko yan, enter, 0 siya. So ibig sabihin nun, however you present your number, whether it's in scientific notation ang tawag doon, no? Or just the regular, it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. Kasi parehong number, parehong value lang naman yan eh. Okay? Louis, did that answer your question?
Yes po, sir. Thank you so much
Okay.
po.
Okay, sige. So no matter how your number is presented, whether it's whether it's in scientific notation or just as a decimal like mine here, pwede ko nga gawing scientific notation din to eh. SciPen ang pang ilalagay ko dyan, no? Pero wag na, no? Ko-convert ko lang yung format nito. Kasi formatting lang din yan, no? Okay, so going back to our modeling here. Okay, so i-ano nyo nga class, hanapin nyo nga Investopedia, yung ano muna, sagutin nyo muna yung tanong ko. Have you encountered that term rebalancing in your prior subjects? Na-discuss ba yan in your invest na, in your other other subjects class yung rebalancing? Yes or no, please? I hope I can have a quick feedback. Kasi I'm sure you will know kung na-discuss na ba yung concept ng rebalancing dati sa previous subjects ko. Kasi if yes, class, I'm not going to discuss it. No, no, no. Okay, no. Sige. Then I'll discuss, class. So if we go to, a good reference will be Investopedia. I-google nyo na lang, rebalancing. Pwede sa Investopedia. Marami namang literature about this, yung rebalancing. Yung nitty-gritty details ito, class. So for example, you have an investment plan, and your investment plan defines ano yung yung portfolio weights, no? Ano yung weights ng mga assets na gusto mo? Kunyari, gusto mo ang weight mo kay IBM will be 60%. kay Bank of America 30%, kay Apple 10%. So you set that off as your investment plan. So kunyari, nag-invest ka ng 1 million, 600,000 doon kay IBM, 300,000 kay Apple, 100,000 300,000 kay Bank of America, 100,000 kay Apple. So initially you have that weight, no? 6:3:1 or 60%, 30%, 10%. Now in the course of the investment, siyempre magbabago yan. Volatile yung mga prices, pwedeng tumaas, pwedeng bumaba, no? So every day, kung nagbabago yung prices, nagbabago yung market value ng portfolio mo. It can go up, it can go down. So if your market value changes, the market value of your assets also change. Okay? So there will come a time na iba na yung weights nila. Let's suppose si IBM medyo mabagal yung niya, yung increase, yung accumulation niya compared to let's say Bank of America and Apple. So let's say after 1 year, after 1 month, you have the market values. Tapos tingnan mo yung weights nila, si IBM 52% na lang. So from 60 naging 52 na siya. Tapos yung let's say yung 6% doon napunta kay BAC, si BAC naging 36, from 30 naging 36. And then nag-increase ng 2%, no? Si Apple naging 12% na. So ngayon yung ano yung weight ng assets mo is not according to plan anymore, 'di ba? So what you have to do is to rebalance. But rebalance can be a bit costly kasi sorry Kasha. Wait a minute. I'll just drink water. Okay. So in order to bring it to your original plan of 60-30-10, ang mangyayari niyan, so you'll have to make some, you'll have to buy, let's say, you'll have to buy more IBM and then reduce your holdings for BAC and for your Apple. Okay? Proportionately, no? So, i-compute mo yan. Para yung weights mo, ano ulit? 60, 30, at saka 10. That process class is called rebalancing. Hindi pala, hindi ako naka-share screen. Hindi ba ako naka-share screen? Okay, let me check kung naka-record ako. Okay. All right. So rebalancing ito class, no? I leave that class for you, and there are other sources of course, no? So rebalancing ito yung kay Investopedia kasi napaka-basic lang ng pag ano niya. Again, class, may cost, ha? May cost. That's why it's not healthy, of course, to rebalance every day. Imagine every day nagkakaroon ka ng transaction cost. Uh, Tax din sa ano, meron kang mga transaction cost, no? So of course, it's not, since it involves cost, you don't do that on a regular basis. Or pwedeng regular pero few and far between. Kunyari, monthly, medyo ano na nga yung monthly eh. Or every 6 months or usually pwedeng every year, no? Depende kung long term naman yung pag ano mo dun sa assets mo, no? All right, so ganun na rebalancing. So let's see, si performance analytics class, pwede natin i-rebalance yung asset natin. Okay? So tingnan natin dito. Here, let's create this object, IBM, BAC, and then Apple underscore portfolio return rebalance. Okay? So ito, yung returns natin, i-rebalance natin. So the code is return that portfolio. Pareho pa rin, kaso ito isasama natin rebalance on. Okay? So here, isasama natin kasi ito na yung object natin, kasama na si Apple. Okay? So return that portfolio ng itong object na to, and then we will have to change this, yung C natin. Okay? Ang complete code yan actually is weights, no? Is equal to, or we can, pwede mo naman hindi na ilagay yun. So that's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. Alright? 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 yung weights. Pag ginawa nyo lang class na 1/3 lang, okay, hindi siya automatic na ano, mag-e-error yon. Kasi ang gusto ni R, 1:1 yung pagbigay natin ng weights. Since you have 3 assets, dapat 3 weights din. And then here, rebalance on months. Okay, you can rebalance it. Ito, if you take a look at this one, okay, hindi, ito to, no? Hindi natin nakita yung ano. You can do it monthly, semi-annual, annual. Okay, so here, view na natin. Wait. So this should now be, ba't nawala? And what did I change? Oh, ito. Yeah, ito pala, sorry. I got confused. This was what I was changing, di ba? Parang malaki yung line ko dito. Wait. Hindi kang mag-error yun. Wrong yung symbol na nagawa ko. So it's also returned that portfolio. Kaso, meron tayong ano dito, no? We have here a qualifier. Re-rebalance natin. Rebalance on dito sa months. Okay? And then i-view natin class. So this should be with Apple. Okay. All right. If I run this class, it will now show us the ito class, no? Here. All right. And then let's compare kasi ito rebalance eh. May effect ba yung rebalancing? Of course, class. Rebalancing on months. So after the first month, ang mangyayari niyan, magre-rebalancing, no? Mag-iiba na yung weight ngayon, ibabalik dun sa original weight intended. Pag nabalik na dun, class, magkakaroon na ngayon ng ano ng ibang returns na. Kasi iba na yung amount ni amount ni IBM, iba na yung amount ni Apple, iba na yung amount ni BAC. So let's do that. Okay. Are you done with this class? Before I proceed, were you able to get this? Okay, I don't want this. Wag ito. Okay. All right. Ang gawin natin, class, C-bind natin ito. Here we're going to compare, no? Right. So ito muna. Let's create this object. Portfolio ret compare. And then isi-C-bind natin. Babaguhin natin to. Isasama ko si Apple. IBM, BAC, Apple, portfolio return, yung walang rebalancing. Tapos ito, IBM, BAC, APL underscore, PRET rebalance. So this is with rebalancing. So when we run this class, okay, C-bind lang natin, no? So si PRET compare natin, asan na yung si PRET compare ko? Ito, no, di ba? Ito. P portfolio returns compare. Of course, you can name it any way you want, no? Okay, so yun na siya, no? Pero ang pangit ng class ng column names, no? Portfolio that returns 1. So baguhin natin yung column names. Okay, column names ng PRET will be C, non-rebalance yung una, at saka monthly rebalance. Okay. Kindly do that, class. So that our column names for PRET compare will now be more instructive, more clear. So it will now be, the first column is non-rebalanced, the second column is rebalanced. Okay. Okay, I'll, in case you want to copy. All right. Let's compare this, class. You can see here, class, yung for January, pareho lahat yan. Pareho lahat. January 29, the same. Okay? It's only after January 29, at the start of February, na nagbago na. No? Ito, yung non-rebalance, it's 7.17. Ito, 7.29. And then since mangyayari niyan, class, tutuloy-tuloy lang din yung di ba, yung pag-compute ng returns based on the new weights na na-rebalance. Pagdating sa March, ganoon na naman, may rebalancing na naman. Okay? So there will be, it will only be on the first month that the returns will be the same. But after that, iba na lahat yan. Tapos every end of the month, nagre-rebalance pa siya. So let's create this. This is, natin to. Tingnan natin. Ito yung class, no? Table that annualized returns. Okay? Tab. And this is also from performance analytics then. Okay, so let's take a look at what this does. Now, yung table that annualized returns, annualized returns yung ibibigay nito, no? So, ang ibibigay niya, yung annualized returns, annualized standard deviation, at saka annualized Sharpe. Now, the inputs here, yung R class, will be an XTS or vector ng returns, no? So, dapat return siya, no? Asset returns. It can be weekly. It can be weekly, it can be daily, it can be monthly. Okay? Ang gagawin niyan, i-compute ni R yung returns yan and then convert it into an annualized return. So, isang return lang yan, class, no? Only one return. Tapos, scale class is equal to NA. That's the default. Ibig sabihin, kung annual naman yung data mo, hindi mo na ilalagay na ano yan, na, na, na annual siya. No? Okay, then RF is equal to whatever your risk-free rate and kung anong type ng pagko-compute, a geometric or arithmetic chaining, and then how many digits. Now, if you take a look at this class, ang sabi dito, yung risk-free rate natin should be in the same period as your returns. So kung yung returns natin daily, dapat yung risk-free rate natin dapat daily din. Okay? So let's do this, class. Let's perform this, yung table.annualized returns. Very important, class, especially if we're comparing. All right. So ang pinapa-compute natin, class, yung period compare. Ano yung period compare, class? Dalawa siya, di ba? Yung return ng non-rebalance at saka yung monthly rebalance. Okay? So this one. Sabi natin table.annualized returns ng ito yung R natin. So it consists of two columns. Yung isa yung norm, yung isa yung non-rebalance, yung isa naman yung rebalance. And then let's assume, class, that the risk-free rate is just 1%. Assumption ko lang yan. Usually ang kinukuha natin dyan yung 10, yung sa, let's say, kung 2023 to, then kukunin natin yung 10-year na T-bill rate. Yun ang i-assume natin na RF. Okay? So let's assume it's 1%. Yung 1% na yan, that's annual data. No? Usually kapag binibigay sa atin yung return, yung rate, it's annualized. So dapat i-convert natin siya into daily data because this is daily data. So I'm dividing it by 252 because there are 252 on the average trading days in a year. So by dividing it by 252, we are making this into an annualized, 1% yung annualized data, annualized risk-free rate, divide by 252 para maging daily data. Okay? So, ganun lang, class, no? Yung object, tapos yung risk-free rate. All right? So, when we run this, say, class, you run it first and tell me what are the rows that you see there. Ano yung mga values ng rows na makikita? Not the values, but the anong metrics ang nakalagay doon. Okay, so what did you get? Yes. Thank you, Mig. So it's annualized return, annualized standard deviation, and the Sharpe ratio. As declared here, di ba? Dito sa table that annualized return. Sabi dyan, ito ibabalik sa atin. Annualized return, annualized standard deviation. Kaya in tabular form, kaya table that annualized. Okay? Annualized return. So I'll run this and then let's see which of the assets yung non-rebalance or yung rebalance, which performed better in this case, no? Okay, so na yun. Annualize ko. Ito. Here, I'm going to run this. Okay, there. So in terms of annualized return, mas mataas yung ano, no? Mas mataas yung non-rebalanced. Okay? So it really depends on the portfolio. Kasi kanina, ang ginamit namin sa isang class, IBM lang at saka si Bank of America. And it turned out that the monthly balance was a lot better than the non-rebalance. Dito naman, tatlong assets, mas maganda yung non-rebalance. Okay? Although you kindly read yung article on rebalancing, ano? Kasi may implications yun. May implications yun. Okay, so here the annualized standard deviation, mas risky si non-rebalance, 0.24, ito 0.22 lang. Standard deviation class is a measure of risk. So the higher the standard deviation, the higher is the risk. Mas volatile itong non-rebalance natin kaysa kay monthly rebalance. Tapos, ito, annualized Sharpe ratio natin is it's equal to ano formula ng ano class ng Sharpe ratio? Anybody please? Quickly, paki-check. Sharpe ratio class. Very easy yung formula. It's like a standardized na ano, standardized na return yan. Risk-adjusted return. Kindly chat, please. What's the formula for Sharpe ratio by William Sharpe? One of the most used na returns, no? Kasi it becomes a standardized, normalized metric. So pwede natin i-compare, no? Pwede tayong mag-compare among assets. Quickly, please. I'm waiting for your formula class ng Sharpe ratio. Okay. Thank you, Abigail. And thank you, Louis. So ito yung ano, no, class? Yung formula. Return of the portfolio minus your risk-free rate divided by your standard deviation. That can easily be shown, class. Okay, I'll leave you to show that indeed, given the risk-free rate of 1%, annual dapat, no? Ito yung ano natin, yung annualized return natin. We can easily compute for the Sharpe ratio because we have the standard deviation. Okay, so it turns out, class, that yung monthly rebalance performed less than the non-rebalance. Kasi ito ang Sharpe ratio natin, 0.46. Ito, around 0.4. Okay, so ibig sabihin ng class, we're earning adjusted returns. Adjusted kasi binawas natin yung risk-free rate, no? We're earning adjusted returns ng around 46% per every 1% of risk. Okay? Kasi ito, di ba, ang denominator nito, sigma. So for 1 unit of risk, we're earning 0.46. Ito naman, for 1 unit of risk, we're earning 0.39. So it's as if you're exposed to the same amount of risk. Tapos yung return mo kay non-rebalance, mas malaki. Parehong risk nyo, kasi dinivide natin ng standard deviation yan. So pareho silang, ang denominator niyan, 1 standard deviation. Okay, so that's what I meant by being able to compare, okay, and come up with the, kasi ito class, ito, pag returns lang tinitingnan natin, 0.12, ito 0.10. Mahirap mag-conclude, class, na mas maganda yung annualized return ni non-rebalance kasi hindi natin alam yung risk profile nila. Okay, oo nga, mas mataas nga yung return nito, pero baka naman sobrang laki ng risk. O ito, di ba? 0.24 yung risk. Ito, mas mababa nga yung risk nila. But despite that, class, mas mataas pa rin yung standardized na returns. No? When I'm saying standardized kasi dinivide natin ng standard deviation to. So ang denominator natin dito, just to make it clear, class, yung comparison na to, over 1 to di ba? Over 1 unit ng standard deviation. Ito din over 1 unit ng standard deviation. So comparable sila, class. Comparable kasi tigi-isang, for every 1 unit of standard deviation, for every 1 unit of risk, okay? So parehong risk sila exposed, mas mataas yung return ni non-rebalance kaysa kay monthly rebalance. Okay? So Sharpe ratio, class, very important concept sa finance. Kasi we're able to intelligently compare Sharp ratio, mako-compare natin yung mga returns pag sharp ratio ang ginamit natin. Kasi nga standardized yung computation ng sharp ratio. Okay, so right, we have a few more minutes. Now let's try a portfolio this time of 6 assets. So tingnan naman natin to para i-replicate lang natin ginawa natin kanina na 3 assets. This time, let's uh, gawin natin 10, no? 1 to 10. 1 to 10 siya. So this time, ang weights natin, baguhin natin tong, let's see, rep. Pwedeng repeat, no? 1 over 10, 10 times. Let's see if this will work. Kasi dapat 1 over 10, 10 beses, di ba? Kaso ang haba nun, di ba? 1 over 10, 1 over 10, 10 times. So we're creating now, palitan natin to, gawin natin 10. Okay, 10. So first, let's create yung returns natin, yung portfolio returns natin. So we're using the ret object. Di ba yung ret object natin, just to remind you, ang ret object natin, mga returns na to, no? Ng 10, 11 assets natin. Ang kukunin lang natin yung first 10. Okay, we'll just get the first 10. Where's my, no? Yung first 10 lang, ret, subset natin, all the rows included, and all the 10 first 10 columns. And yung weights na ibibigay natin, dapat 10 din yung weights na yun. No? Ipapa-repeat natin yung 1 over 10. So 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. Or it can be, it can be a different different weights. No? For now, equally weighted muna natin siya. So 10 assets per rate. Ano natin to? Right? Review natin. Okay. So ito isa siya, no? Okay, which means how was this computed plus? Dun sa dito sa ret natin class, minultiply to ng tigpo 0.1, tigpo 10%. 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, hanggang Tesla, 10%. And then sum that up to get now this one. Isa rin 10, ito. Yan. Isa lang, no? Isa lang per day. Alright, then, okay, pause muna ako. Were you able to generate this class? Pakichat naman please kung na-generate nyo siya. Or I'll give you a few more seconds to, at least now you're having a feel of creating a portfolio. Okay, good. Tapos, ito kasi class, di ba, ano to? Yung return to, portfolio, return portfolio. Ito non-rebalance, no? No rebalancing to. Okay. And then dito class, with rebalancing, same thing as what we did a while ago. I'll replace yung weights natin nito. Okay. Well, to. Repeat natin siya 10 times. Move yan ang weights and then rebalance on months. So I'll replace this with 10 assets. 10 assets. Okay. I'm going to run this and hindi ko na siya ipiprint. Okay. Didiretso, oops, what happened? 1 to 10 to, sorry. May discrepancy sa ano. Okay. So okay na siya. And then punta na ako dito. Again, yung ginawa natin kanina. We we compare to 10 assets. C-bind natin 10 assets. Sa 10 assets. Ito rebalance, tsaka non-rebalance. Pareho pa rin yung column names natin. 10 assets to. 10 assets compare. 10 assets compare. Okay, yung isa non-rebalance, yung isa rebalance. Okay, so I'll change this also to 10. Here. So run everything here. And then there, class. All right. So ito, 10 assets to, no? You can see that the monthly rebalance ni monthly rebalance ng all the all the assets mas mataas. Okay? Tapos yung risk niya mas mababa pa, no? Mas mataas na yung return niya, mas mababa pa yung parang double whammy, no? Mas mababa yung risk niya compared to yung non-rebalance natin. So definitely mas mataas yung yung magiging Sharpe ratio nito. Okay, let me pause for a while and maybe you have questions, clarifications. Hindi ko na-record. Feedback, please, class. Yes or no lang yan. I think you should be able to know, class. No? No, okay, thank you. Then that's good kasi I was hoping na know yung answer nyo kasi baka kung parang maging repeat na lang to, then medyo I'll not discuss this anymore in greater detail. But since not class, then it's an opportunity for us to make use of R. Okay, ito na actually yung mga codes, no? And then towards the end class, mag-create tayo ng efficient frontier. And we will explain what the efficient frontier is all about. Okay? So with that, I thank you so much and have a great weekend ahead. Thank you, class.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Salamat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Attendance po.
Attendance. Sige, attendance. Sino
Late
papa-attendance? Name, please.
De Leon po.
De Leon. Who else?
Thank you po.
Thank you. No one else? Wala na? Sige.